Hello, and welcome to the virtual reality interview series. I'm your host, Nikhil Whitaker-Woody, CEO and event coordinator for the VA World Conference. The purpose of this series is a heart-led mission. We aim to inspire, motivate, and lift the voices of women who have shaped their paths in the dynamic world of virtual and remote work. When it comes to the style of this conversation, we're committed to being authentic, fully transparent, and maintaining an atmosphere of open dialogue and mutual admiration. We're here not to just tell tales, but to share our realities, the highs, the lows, and the resilience it takes to keep going in entrepreneurship. So without further ado, and with great anticipation, let's pave the way for this conversation with wisdom, warmth, and an eager spirit to learn. Hello, everyone. My name is Nikhil Whitaker-Woody, and I am the CEO and event coordinator for the VA World Conference. And today, our enterprising visionary is the CEO and boss. She likes to call herself the boss of Real Assistance, and her name is Marie Lewis. So Marie Lewis is a faith-based leader who is passionate about supporting businesses by promoting efficiency and self-care. We all need that self-care. At Real Assistance, her role as a CEO and business efficiency consultant involves improving processes, evaluating strategies, and implementing solutions that are success-oriented. Marie facilitates back-end administration and streamlines operations as part of her support for businesses. It is Marie's pleasure to assist business owners in relieving their stress and guiding them to freedom. So, welcome, Marie.
I feel very welcome. Thank you.
I'm glad. We will be having Miss Marie's daughter today as well as a guest. She's not feeling well, so we wish her well.
Thank you.
So my first question is, what motivated you to start this path?
It was absolutely God granted. I think that it has always been that way for me. I was raised in the church. My dad is a bishop. My mom is a pastor. So ultimately, it's around my entire life. I remember, I just remember in the beginning when I was trying to figure out exactly what path I was to go on. I had conversations with family and I prayed a lot, and it was just God downloading items into my mind. So it's all God.
Oh my goodness. I have never had that type of inspiration, even though I was raised in the church as well. My mom's a Jehovah's Witness, but I applaud you for listening. Because sometimes the what is it called? The church kid be like, I'm gonna go a whole lot.
Yes.
Okay, so how has this shaped your personal and professional life, being that you chose to be a virtual remote professional?
So it's interesting because when the world shifted into more of a virtual space, it became a lot easier. I didn't know what a virtual assistant was at first. I kind of felt like, okay, this is the thing that people talk about, but never really understand what it is. And when I started to learn more about, okay, you can do the things like admin work on a computer and it be, acknowledged as virtual work, I stepped into the role more so that I could be able to be more professional and also take on that hat of supporting people virtually.
Cool. So what did you do in your career?
It's very interesting to say that I started as a computer professional. Well, that's not the truth. I started doing psychology. And I said, hey, I can't do anything without a doctorate degree. So it was not going to happen. I just didn't want to go to school for another 10 years. It was just not something I wanted to do. And then I transitioned over to computer tech, which was all the things just pulling apart computers and doing all the inside of it. And then I decided to stick with accounting because it went to accounting. So my trail to get here is completely different than how I actually got here. But when I actually started to do the VA work, it was because I was doing admin work inside of church. So yeah.
That church got you right, girl. That church got you right.
Yeah.
I started psychology in college too. It was a
Right.
very interesting path, but then I was like, mm-mm. So I definitely understand you. So what unique qualities do you bring to the remote working community?
I, as a mother and also as a multifaceted woman, I believe that there's a lot of things that you can bring, even from an aspect of a virtual space. I bring first and foremost understanding because I get it when you are a busy business owner who has a responsibility of being a mom, a friend, a sister, just a person who is supporting so many other people. I bring that advocate support because I get it, but also I also make the note to be your accountability partner to make sure that you are recognizing the things that you need to do, but also that there is an actual deadline to these things. You have to
Mhm,
execute them.
mhm,
So I bring those kind of factors in. More so, I try to overall encompass balance. So taking the weight off of you, giving it to me because I enjoy doing this. It's actually a passion. So I enjoy just being able to take all those things and making it less of you and more of me.
Yes, I have this passion and it just drives me. It's like I'm never really at work because
Yeah.
I'm just loving all about it.
Hmm.
Okay, you are the queen of self-care. So how do you handle the work-life balance piece?
So I believe that having a work-life balance is very tricky because there's really no such thing as balance if we think about it. There's just understanding what you will call a line to boundary. So
Mhm,
I
mhm,
always say for me, handling it is being organized enough to make sure there's space enough to take care of yourself.
mhm,
So that can be saying, I'm going to focus 2 hours on work and then another
mhm,
hour solely on my child, or
mhm,
however you want to break it up. But just being intentional about how you spend your time. That's really the key of balancing things. And when you do find that sweet spot of this works versus this doesn't work, then you're able to create like a schedule around that. And that's
mhm.
balance.
That is true. Balance is definitely subjective. As I posted yesterday, I take 1 hour a day to watch ratchet pop culture shows. I mean, like 1 hour. It totally frees up my brain because you're always going, you always have these ideas, you're just concentrating on business, and this totally erases my brain.
Yes, I love that.
Totally. Okay, so what do you feel like can be done in the industry with our community so that we can make it more inclusive and empowering?
What I realize is that a lot of people don't know how to let go. A lot of people do not know how to say, yes, I need help. They don't know
Mhm.
how to ask for help because they don't like to be that damsel in distress. They don't like to be the
Yes.
person who's going to say, oh my gosh, I can't handle these things. I strongly believe that God has given us all that we can bear, but sometimes He also reminds us that we are our brother's keeper. So we have to
Mm,
be able to just let go and let God, and also just allow us to live freely in the things that we want to live in, and allow the other parts of our businesses to grow. So I think within our community, the struggle is just overall, I want to keep it all to myself. It's a little bit selfish, but
mhm,
it's also about learning how to just be more of a family base. And I'm not saying family as in just like your
mhm,
actual immediate family, but just
mhm.
giving and pouring back into others because we really are here to support each other. So
That
that's how
is
I.
so true. That is so true. That is one of the main tenets of the VA World Conference is trying to build this community to show others in reality of this podcast that you're on alone. Everyone has the background crap that's going on.
Mm,
Nobody is perfect. Nobody is getting it out of the mud and then rich. You
mm.
know, you- we all have the things. So definitely learning that. I myself had to really work on investing in myself. I literally have been in business for 5 years and I just went on my first retreat this year. Like, I have never paid a coach. I have never, I literally did everything by instinct. I literally tried to do it all. So I am just now learning with having the two businesses that I do need support
Okay.
in, and I'm not failing because I'm asking for support. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely understand that. In pursuit of the collective growth, how do we ensure our individual growth is not compromised?
We have to take a step back and look at self. What I realized within the pivots that I've done, and I say pivots because it's
Hmm.
transitional, I always have to say, okay, God, where do you want me? And am I aligned with that? Because when we get too caught up in the, oh my gosh, things are moving, we get so caught up in just doing so many things that we get overwhelmed, we get burned out. We don't think about how we can actually give back to self.
Hmm.
So within our personal growth, I always say, take the time to do self check-ins. Make sure that
Hmm.
you're taking those CEO days. Make sure you're taking those times where you can say, okay, listen, I have a checklist, and I know many people like write notes down and things. Are
Hmm.
you checking those items off? Like, what
Hmm.
exactly is that you need to do to progress? And from there, you can see more growth when you're steadily aiming towards a goal. So it's always fun to
That's
just do it that way.
definitely a good thing to have. I personally try to do a quarterly check-in with myself,
Love
in
it.
that I write down all the things that I have planned out. I write down all the things that I wanted to do and didn't get to do, and reevaluate, do you really need to do them? I am really big on continuous learning and professional
Yep.
organizations and all that those can provide to make sure I'm up to date. I am out there, and I know the things that I need to know. So, and I always promote that in my group as well. Professional organizations will get you everywhere, for real. Definitely. I mean, put you in so many rooms. I'm attending the US Black Chambers
What?
um honors next Saturday, and
Okay.
I am attending a networking event, which is networking and training all day tomorrow. So I mean, you never know where these type of things can take you. So I definitely think we need to um work on ourselves in addition to trying to give back.
Absolutely.
Um, how do you tap into the commonalities with your fellow professionals and foster shared values and inspirations?
I am all about sharing is caring. I think
Hmm.
that knowledge is so free that we just sometimes don't know how to just give it without feeling as if we're giving too much or it's going to give away my goodies. No, honestly, people pay for the emotions, they pay for
Hmm.
the
The
connections, they pay for
experience,
the
yes.
convenience and the experience. So for me, I love to share amongst anything else, just the freebies that I've learned over the past years of working within this field. And I like to learn from other people. So I support other businesses. I go into their workshops, I go into their communities, I pay for those services so that I can
Hmm.
understand how they're doing it, not to swipe, but really kind of like to understand, like, well, maybe it works for them. It may not work for
Hmm.
me, but this is
Right.
a great insight that I can be able to have that works for
Hmm.
other people. So it's all
Yeah,
about just understanding.
that is true. I know that I went to a training for one of my clients. And
Nice.
what I got out of it was that everyone can drink from the same cup. No, drink from the same well, but
Yep.
they take that well water and they have their own cup. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we all have remote businesses, and we know what we need to know as a collective, but you then have to transform that into your own message to make
Yes.
it personal to you. So while we're all in a remote industry, we all have different niches, we all have different specialties, we all have different things that we want to do for our clients. So I definitely think that, yeah, we need to learn to understand that it's collaboration over competition.
Yep.
We need to definitely make sure that we are sharing, because by sharing, you are encouraging someone else who might think it's too hard to do. So that is
Exactly.
one reason I definitely try to portray authenticity and transparency. I mean, you see me when I ain't slept all night. You see me when I'm fighting with the cat. You see me. So I mean, it's not, I want a grant, or I'm making this amount of money. It's, did you see all the stuff that happened in addition
Exactly.
to all that?
Yeah.
How do you handle setbacks and keep it motivated? I know you have a great faith, but what else do you do?
Oh, trust me, feelings are real, emotions are real. Like when you get into that funk, it feels so low and annoying because you sometimes don't know how to get out of it. I think we all go through that in waves as
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. I think that even small business owners may go through it as CEOs.
Mhm.
Um, the ways that I get through them specifically is Honestly, by just stepping away. I think it's
Mhm,
so important for me to be able to say I need a day and I don't need
mhm,
to force myself to go through another stage of let me pressure myself into pushing forward. There are times that I've done that and then I've gone into a deeper hole. So the
mhm.
way that I get out of that is really by just stepping away, taking the time to reevaluate, see if I'm disaligning with something, and then reprocess what I'm thinking, and it works 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. I know recently I had to cancel the conference because I was doing way too much. And I felt like it was a definite setback. I was defeated. I was definitely defeated because I'm like, I put so much energy into this, and to have to make a decision and publicly make a decision to say I failed was a lot for me. But again, it was a setback, and now we're back with a whole different model, and it's feeling
Mhm.
better and all the things. So definitely know that, we have to keep ourselves motivated, and sometimes that does mean admitting that one thing isn't working and revamping and stepping back as well.
Yes.
What does personal empowerment look like for you? What do you do to empower yourself?
So I used to do this thing where I used to write sticky notes on my mirror, and I used to just
Mm-hmm.
post like the Post-it notes on there. It was so cool at one point, but then I kept forgetting to rewrite the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at the old ones, and I found that that was empowering for me because waking up to a Bible verse on my window or somewhere that I can see it, it was encouraging every day to understand that this is great. The other thing I
Mm-hmm.
transitioned to doing is I got off of Shein like these quotes. And so I was putting quotes around the place just to make sure I can see it. So one of them was above the door that says, give it to God and go to sleep. So it's always
Mm-hmm.
like things that help me to motivate myself to go into the next day or do the thing that I need to do. Nowadays, what I do is I like to write. I like to
Mm-hmm.
just write my thoughts down. I like to really just, I guess, disassemble myself, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
piece together the day, or I think make sense of the day based on the events of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
if, for example, if someone was late to a call, I'd say, okay, well, they were late to a call, but I was able to give more time to something else or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
is. So most times I'm really just trying to find the pockets of peace throughout the day so that I could be able to move forward to the next day. And each day it grows bigger and I can be able to just keep going.
That's very interesting. I'm trying to think, what do I do? I have the Calm apps calendar downloaded to my calendar, so it reminds me to breathe, and it
Mhm,
reminds me to listen to some white noise.
mhm.
I've tried the journaling. Journaling doesn't work for me because, as a person with a mental health disorder, this brain is going a mile a minute, and that just ain't working for me. But I mean, I understand it works for some people. So I mean, I think that me personally saying, oh, you need to breathe. Oh, remember to eat, because that's empowering too. Remember to eat, because
Yes.
sometimes I get so hyper focused that I am literally sitting there all day and didn't eat and didn't finish my coffee, or things like that. So I have a definite need to work on my self empowerment. So
Love
thank
that.
you. I will work on maybe a sticky note. I don't like the sticky note idea basically for per se, but I do use whiteboard markers on my
Yes,
mirror in my bathroom.
love that.
I usually use it to remind me I need to buy something, but I can personally take some notes and put on my mirror, so when I go to brush my teeth in the morning, it empowers me for the day. So great thoughts. I will use that. What steps have you taken to build a sense of community?
hmm So communities are very subjective. And so
Mm-hmm.
the way that I find communities to be right now for me, I have a VA community that is not being used as frequently as it should because a lot of times people just come in for free information. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to commune, they don't really want to communicate, and then they leave or they just
Mm-hmm.
don't say anything. For me, what I've been doing instead is building a community around tools that I love. So
Mm-hmm.
just finding people who are in love with the type of stuff that I do. So on my YouTube, I have a community there because I'm posting videos that are engaging for Sweet
Mm-hmm.
Dash or
Mm-hmm.
other vlog type videos. And then in the other aspect of community is I try to really just find different like communities to join that I've already, you know, worked with clients or people that I've seen on Instagram. I want to just join their community so that I can see that. So I think communities are just very unique, but for me, I'm still in the space of trying to understand if it's really my thing.
Yeah. I know I have a community. I had one that I started with a friend, and it grew to over 700 people. And I found that inspiring in that I was able to learn and grow while they were learning and growing. So, you know, they got to see my mistakes and everything. When I transitioned over to the VA World Conference, I started another group, and we're almost to 100 people, which is great. And I get to be my transparent self, and I get to hear all of the this is what I need, or this is what I'm working on, or I find you so inspiring because you were transparent with this, or I provide resources and they were like, I would have never thought of this. You know, who gets a trademark as a VA? Me. You know, who does all these things? Who's getting grants? Me. You know, I'm thinking out of the box and showing them that there is more than one way to get it done. So I find that community is definitely subjective. My community does at times deal with the not being responsive or engaging as well. I think that's something for everyone, especially as entrepreneurs. We're busy. Our heads are down trying to get it done. So I mean, I don't fault it. You know, I still show up every day. I do a video every morning. I provide resources throughout the day. So, you know, so I definitely think community is subjective, but I do think we need the community. We definitely need someone to say, I see you, I feel you, this is what I'm going through, you're gonna get through it. So definitely feel that. As a woman of color, specifically, what unique perspective do you bring to the table?
I see a lot of women of color struggling to just find the right fit in their team. I think a lot of times we try to get the quick and easy type of vibe. So we go to like Fiverr or Upwork, right? And when a lot of people come to me, they're saying, oh, I've tried a VA before and I don't know, but it didn't work out the way that I thought it would. And so I get that sense of shortcut type of vibe sometimes from us. And I don't necessarily like that because we have quality, like we should know the quality when we see it, but sometimes we fail to actually experience it because we don't know where to go. So I think it's either the lack of resources in sense of understanding where to find these quality type of experiences, or it's really just the more shortcut versus where they want to just find the quick and easy, and then they find the failure and then it's like, oh, you know, they give up. So that's the struggle that I think that happens currently with us, that I hope that it stops soon.
Definitely. I know for me, the unique perspective is we just need to be more transparent.
Yeah.
You know, we're not perfect. I mean, I know a lot of people see me doing all the things, but they don't see that I only sleep 4 hours a night. And that's no fault of me being overworked or nothing. You know, it's just medical condition. I don't sleep a lot. But I use that superpower to be more productive and more resourceful and to give back to my community. So I definitely think as women of color, we have to get over the strong woman syndrome. We have to get over, I gotta do it by myself. That no one understands me or somebody wants something from me. You know, so definitely we need to handle that. What is a notable challenge that you've encountered?
As of late, it's been very challenging for me to step more so into the mom role and less into the CEO role. My daughter is becoming 2 this year, and I feel as if it's time for me to really get her into the shifting of understanding more of like the basic sight words and things like that, and not coming behind my computer. And I see her when I come behind my computer, she'll sit on me, she'll start typing and things like that. So I think it's just finding the balance between, again, that's subjective, but finding that sweet spot in between being a mom and also being a CEO, because I love both in both respective places. I just feel like there's always something that's up and down in that space, because even though they are not my children, my clients feel as if sometimes I have to also advocate for them. I have to make sure that they are doing all the things. So they are in a way, and I'm responsible for them in some type of way. So it's kind of balancing an odd amount of children in a, you know, physical aspect and a virtual aspect.
Yeah, I understand that challenge as well. Um, Being a mom, she's 22, but I take her to work every day. I still feed her. Like literally, mom was for dinner. So, I definitely understand. And then I have my mom who's like, what's for dinner? Did you go to the store? Can you do this for me? Then there's the husband.
Yeah.
In addition to running two business and working full time. So it's like,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
Like what you want? Like
I-
where do you find the time? And I've also been blessed with all these opportunities. So like my calendar is full. And it's like,
that-
do I do this or do I not do this? Is this burning a bridge? How do
Yep.
I be successful and still get all the things done and get to enjoy and appreciate them at the same time instead of being like, oh my God, I'm so burned out because I'm getting all these blessings. I don't
Mhm.
want to block my blessings from being exacerbated with the opportunities. So
Exactly.
definitely understand that. What else do I have for you? Do you have one of your golden moments when you just felt so empowered?
So I always say this. It's one of the things that I don't really sit back and do often, but when I started in this VA world, I remember praying and saying, God, well, just send me the one client, right? I'm going to manage
Mhm,
the one client. I got the one client. It was great. And then I got two more clients and it was great. But then as the workload started to pile up and I was able
mhm,
to, do all the things by myself at one point, I was like, I think I need to delegate, right? So I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to afford a team. So
mhm,
I started to build my team. And I think over time, I kind of look at myself and I'm like, those were golden moments. Like
mhm,
those were places where I did not think about the blessings and the abundance of which I was just in and
mhm,
still am in because
mhm,
I'm still able to afford a team. I'm still able to, retain clients without doing marketing. I'm still able to, do all these things that it's really a space of grace and mercy
mhm,
from God. So I think it's so important sometimes for me, even in this moment, to kind of sit back and say, huh, that thing happened. I'm still running. It's still successful and things are profiting. Like it's
mhm,
amazing. So I have those golden moments and I'm even grateful for this one, being able to speak with
mhm,
you. It's a golden moment because I have been in connection with you for a while.
mhm.
And now we're working in this space where I can be on this podcast and do all the things. So I'm appreciative.
Yes, I'm definitely appreciative of the connection, and all the things that we are planning to do together. You mentioned marketing. Marketing is like my worst thing that comes with running both businesses.
Yeah.
Um, Speak to that. How do you feel about it? What do we need to, as entrepreneurs, realize?
It's not one size fit all. It will
Mhm,
be different for each type of business. It will be different for each type of client. I went through a whole lot of marketing strategies, right? I've
mhm,
spoken to strategists. I've tried to do the straight line sales pitchiness. It does not
mhm,
work for me.
mhm,
What I found that works is the storytelling marketing, just being able to showcase my life in the real time, in the real sense,
mhm,
and connecting with people based on that. And that is my quote unquote marketing,
mhm,
A lot of times also marketing for me is through referrals. So it's through someone
mhm,
connecting with me, understanding who I am, appreciating my experience, and then referring
mhm,
me to someone else who would do the
mhm,
same. So over time, I think we just have to learn that marketing is going to just be a rough patch unless you kind of
mhm,
get all the things in order and then you do a one shot and it works and you continue doing that one path and it
mhm.
continues to work.
Yeah, I know when I first started, I literally couldn't speak on camera. I would hyperventilate every time, and now I'm like a pro at it. But also, too, there is this unreal expectation that we are supposed to post every day, write a
Yeah.
blog, do
Mhm.
reels, do all these things. And you're right, it's subjective.
Mhm.
That's overpowering for me. I mean, yes, I do a lot of videos, but those are like real world videos. Those are like behind the scenes of my life video.
Right.
And I found that has really gotten me the connections that I'm getting as well. because they see that I'm real. I
Yes.
do intersperse my expertise. I'll put a stat out, or I'll do my testimonials, or I'll write about something that I've learned or whatever. But for the most part, it's just me being real, and people gravitate to that. It also has helped me to connect with other people. Being that I'm on social media, I get to see other women who are in my same industry. And that helps me to get to know other people, to reach out and connect with them, and thus have resources for when I want to plan the conference, or if I want to do a collaboration, or if I need to refer someone to someone else. I don't always have to be worried about, oh my God, they don't fit me, continuing to support other people by just using my marketing. So I definitely think that that is subjective, and everyone should know that it's subjective. You do not have to do a video 3 times a day. You do not have to do all the things and create all the graphics and write all the things, because it's not necessarily needed.
Wow. And also to piggyback off of that, a lot of times as well, people say, oh man, you have to match the algorithm. You have to post this much. You have to do this. And as you're mentioning, there is no real structure to it. But I think when it works for you, it works for you. I think you have to find that pocket of, okay, this is how many times I'm comfortable with showing my face, or this is how many times I'm comfortable with posting, because you have to make it genuine. It has to be you to the truth.
Yes.
You.
It does have to be genuine. I was doing something the other day, and I went through my Instagram feed, and I noticed that in a lot of my Instagram feeds, I have a solo cup.
Interesting.
And my daughter was like, my daughter always says that my favorite thing is my solo cup, but like I never realized that I literally have a solo cup in most of my photos. And I don't want people to automatically think there's liquor in it most times, but it's like, oh my God, I wonder if people think that I'm not an effective entrepreneur because I'm drunk all the time. So, sometimes people are so anal about their feed that they literally do this thingy. I literally don't have the time for that. If you got the time, more power to you, but I ain't worried about that grid. There are more important things to worry about. So I think too, people realizing that the solo cup is there speaks to my being real as well. So definitely. But I'm like, oh my God, I had a solo cup.
I think it's hilarious because you don't see it and they see it, but then you so you know exactly what's going on in the background.
Yes, I was talking to a friend from the retreat I went to, and she introduced me to day drinking. I was always so nervous about that. Like, do you drink before 5 a.m.? And we went to this retreat, and literally they were drinking in the morning. And I'm like, so you do day drinking? And so, we had this conversation about, do you put that on social media when you're a business owner? Because they have all these memes about it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I would love a good tequila and all those things. And it's like, I see them sometimes and I'd be like, oh, I want to post this because it's so true. But then I'm like, is that appropriate? So yeah, social media is subjective, but I really think the best way of handling it is to do what you feel you need to do at the pace you need to do it, all those things, because you don't want to get someone used to something and then when they work with you, they be like, what that person at?
Exactly.
Because I've had that conversation where I had a client and she was like, do you ever smile? Do you ever laugh? Like, I don't know how to take you. And I'm like, I am very serious, especially when I'm working, because I come from corporate, and in corporate, you do your work. So, I'm not here to be your friend, and I'm not here to hee ha with you. I'm here to get something done. So I have to work on that myself in being more cognizant of the moment, and with people understanding that most times I'm not smiling.
Yeah. Hey, it's normal.
So my last question is this. Where did I put it? Me and these questions. What is one piece of wisdom or inspiration that you can give for those embarking on their own remote journey?
I will say to never give up. Just make sure that you're going to be in this for the long haul, because once you get started, you cannot stop. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak in mind. It's not for those who feel like, oh, I'll have freedom all the time. No, it gives you more work. It gives you more structure. There is a lot to do to build it up. But once it's built, you'll be proud. It'll be the one thing that you will always say, I did this. I did not stop. I kept going and now I'm here. So just be encouraged each step of the way.
Yes, the main point is to just start. Yes, definitely. So that concludes our virtual reality interview with Miss Marie Lewis. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to us collaborating and working later. Miss Marie is going to be our keynote speaker at the VA World Conference this year in May. So look forward to seeing her face all over the place. And I want to remind our viewers that we are not just talking. This was not just an interview. We are sharing, growing, and reshaping the narrative for women in this industry. So let's continue to shine together. See you next time.